Hello everybody, and welcome to the first edition of Shed Life. One of the first things I get asked is, do you have a workshop? Can we come and see? And I say, no, I've got a shed, which is one of my favourite spots on earth. So I thought I'd give you a quick tour. Well, there you are, you see, health and safety. Very important when using any tools, so I do pay attention to that. You can see my drill press. I've got a bench, usual clutter on the bench, lots of odds and ends, and this little device which I use for straightening walking sticks, just taking out some of the specific bends, and hidden in there, which I've been very tidy, put away for a change, is a nice heat gun, which I tend to use for straightening. And there's a couple of sticks on the bench you can see I've already started. And then the other thing I use is just this bench, which has obviously got handles you can tighten it up on, and you can see there's a stick here which I'm taking the really long bends out of. It's quite a lengthy process taking bends out of sticks, but a lot cheaper than buying them straightened. And obviously if you picked your own, which I did last year, and that wood is now getting ready for use. The most important tool in my shed is my old leather armchair, which I like to chill out, and I suppose it's just what every man dreams of, a quiet corner in a shed somewhere. Usual junk on the shelves, all my saws, everything I try and keep as near to hand, because I'm getting to that age when you quickly forget where you put something down. I even have, as you can see on the wall there, a tool belt, a Dremel, which I just made a little hook to put it on, and this is quite an invaluable tool for engraving, sanding, and all the other bits and pieces that you can do. Very useful thing I did add to it. I just add this head, which you can just unscrew and screw quickly to change the tools. Otherwise, I have to be frank, it is a bit of a faff having to use their spanner to undo it. All along the top here are the cut-out blanks, just made out of scrap, plywood, etc. And I use these, which I put on, which I'll show you in a minute, some of the hardwoods that I buy, and scraps of hardwood, which I use, and I can then just cut out these shapes and rough them up. There's a shape that I've just cut out from one of the Proformers, and that's in a very nice piece of yew. And you can see already the lovely grain is going to come out of that and look very attractive. And there's all the other bits and pieces. This is something else which is a new project which I'm going to be underway, which I might get round to showing. Put it down so you can see it. These are some different bits and pieces that I'm going to be making up as jewellery, polishing them up, bringing out the nice grains from all the different sorts of wood. But as you can see, there's some lovely grains in that, and when that's polished, because this has only just been sanded, and already you can see it's starting to show a polish, which really should be quite effective. I drill it through and use the old hippie leather thongs. Very useful vice there, and a little tiny vice which I need. That's not for my spittoon. That's just really, I attach it to a wet and dry vac that sucks out dust, so when I'm sanding I'm not making dust. That's probably the biggest problem in a shed like this, is the accumulation of dust. I invested in a wet and dry vacuum as a cheap alternative to, here it is, as a cheap alternative to a dust extractor, but one day I really am going to have to save up and buy a dust extractor. This is my latest big tool that I bought, and it's obviously, to those that might know, it's a table saw. This is some more of the hardwood which I've just made up, these cutting platforms, which are very useful if you're just cutting out things on a repeating basis. There's a heap of sticks at the back there, all waiting to be straightened, all thicknesses, and they're all a year or 2 years old now and fully dry and hard, so they're ready for stick making. There on the top there is some more scraps of hardwood, which again I use for cutting out blanks for walking sticks, and as you can see there's some really nice interesting grains there. It tends to be a bit expensive to buy lumps like that, but you do get a lot of handles out of them, and well, it's nice to work with really nice and interesting woods. I bought this a little while ago. I was really looking for a bandsaw. Tried a bandsaw from B&Q, and I'll be frank, don't bother. Although it looked cheap, it was cheap and it didn't work, so they very kindly took it back. And I bought this on eBay for a few quid. It's not really strong enough. It's great for cutting out little odds and ends put on Christmas trees and things, but it's a bit of a struggle to cut out some of these hardwood lumps, as you can see, but it does the job, and if it breaks down then I'll think about replacing it, but at the moment bandsaws seem to be at a premium on eBay. My box of logs, I do make pixie doors and things like that out of wood burning log. Tend to leave them around for a whole year, and they dry out and harden off, and some of them are apple and oak and beech, and they are rather nice. Could even salvage the wood, as you can see. Pretty scruffy in my shed, lots of odds and ends, but all these little bits here, I don't throw them away, they all go in my box, and you'll be surprising. I'm looking at this, and here, if I can get it in front of the camera so you can see it, I mean there's an obvious bit that's going to turn into a little bit of jewellery. Now what else have we got here? Very important for boiling up glue and stuff like that, and also melting lead for making sticks that are going to be bank sticks or for wading sticks. There's some bits of wood already cut, pre-cut, which I use on the table saw, which needs sanding up, and then they'll be ready for making some birdhouses with. So as you can see, got quite a lot on. Well, there we are. That's a quick tour of the shed. Some very important tools, all my files and chisels. As you can see, everyone is numbered and kept in absolute sequence, pristine order. So more tools, endless clamps which you need, some glue and little chisels and the electric drill, rechargeable electric drill. All these things are absolutely essential. Just a quick look at some other projects I've got underway here. A knife handle that I'm carving onto, going onto a paper knife. I've got some paper knife blanks. Oh, not forgetting the hippies amongst us, the old yin and yang dinner plate that'll hang around their neck, a cross. All these things are just made out of those odd shaped little bits that you saw, and I don't like to waste wood, and when you sand them up they have the most beautiful grains, and when you polish them again they take on a life of their own. So there we are, a bit of shed life, just to show those that ask, you know, do you have a shed and why do you spend so much time in it, as you can see. So there you are, and possibly I'll try my hand at recording one or two things that I'll be making a bit later on, but I think that's all from Shed Life at the moment, or Shed World. So from Shed World, Shed Life, whatever you like, from my shed, I'll say bye bye now.